Hello, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and today I'm here to talk to you about religious intolerance, something that really annoys me and pisses me off in general. I don't discuss my religious views, generally speaking, especially on YouTube, because, well, none of you really need to know. I am religious, but a little different than most people might think. Regardless, this is really all precedented by a event that happened today at a Chinese food restaurant. I went into a Chinese food restaurant today, well, to get Chinese food, obviously, and I was sitting there waiting for an order, and this guy came in. He and his buddy started making comments about the Buddha statue they had, and they had like a little Buddha statue, right? It's a Chinese food restaurant. They often have little Buddha statues. And the guy kept saying, "Look at this God here. He's sitting on a table, not doing anything. My God is Jesus. He's out there for me 24/7. He is not a statue. Blah 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 blah." Fine, whatever. He and his buddy talked about that, but then not too long after that, the lady came up with to take the order from him. He started giving her the same treatment, asking her about her God and talking about how it was just a statue and Satan comes in all these different ways and all this other stuff. And that's where I drew a bit of a pause. You see, I don't like that very much. Let me step on in here. I don't like people who think that they understand everything and who think that they should talk as though they should speak about religion as though they have some proof of anything. Okay? I'm religious. Okay? But I have no right to tell an atheist, for example, that they're wrong. What proof do I have? I'm religious, I believe in God, but do I have any proof? No. So I'm not going to sit here and tell an atheist they're wrong. I'm also not going to tell a Catholic, or a Jew or a Muslim. I'm not going to tell any one of them that they're right or wrong because I have no proof. And I don't need proof. These people go on and on and on about, the proof is in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, it's all there, the proof, you can read it for yourself, blah, 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 the proof. But then they go on immediately after that and they say, faith, you have to have faith, faith. Faith means belief without proof. Once you have proof, it's no longer faith. It's true. It's a fact. So if they have proof, that negates their faith. Or not faith, faith. Dumb. Okay, so I have no problem with religious people. I am religious. I have no problem with atheists. I can't prove them wrong anyway. So why do we all have to be like this all of the time? If you have a religion, and if it's correct, then what do you care if someone else thinks something differently? If you want to say something to them or suggest your belief or whatever, that's fine, but why put them down? Why say, my God is better than your God? Blah, Satan, blah, blah. First off, let me tell you another thing about Satan, because I keep hearing about Satan all the time, alright? Satan is part of the Christian mythology. Okay? Every mythology, typically speaking, has a good deity or deities and usually one or more bad deities, okay? That's the way mythologies are. Yeah, I'm sure there's a mythology out there where there's nothing like that whatsoever, but generally speaking, they typically go that way. I mean, you have them in every one. Some of them paint the bad ones out to be, really bad. Some make them indifferent, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Satan is part of Christianity. For example, pretend for a moment you aren't a Christian, okay? Let's say you are a Buddhist or a Hindu or something. Then there's no Satan in your religion. Now, the problem I find with a lot of groups is they'll come out and they'll say, it's really actually Satan in disguise. They just don't know. Well, then all you're saying is that their religion doesn't exist or whatever. Yours is the only thing that's correct. It just drives me nuts when people do that. Show me proof for sure that your religion not your religion, but that your God is 100% true. Then talk about when people are wrong or not wrong or what they do and don't believe. If you have faith, then why stomp on your own faith by declaring it fact? And another little thing, most religious groups that are out there, most of their prophets and saviors and such, almost every one of them preaches the same basic thing. Treat other people with respect. Take Christianity for a minute. There are many times, and I'm sure I'm going to get knocked for this, but I'm not like a religious scholar, so I'm not going to quote you line and verse because I don't know, but it's in the Bible, I know it is, where Jesus bumps often into people who are not Christians. Of course, they can't be Christians. Only technically the disciples and people following him were sort of Christians at the point. Technically speaking, Jesus was a Jew anyway. But regardless of that fact, he would bump into these people that believe in whatever. He never laughed at them or said, I will smite you, I'm the Son of God, I'll blow you away, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do that. No, in the Bible it says that he treated them with respect and showed them, like he tried to show them the way he thought was correct, etc. and everything, and that's fine. Lead by example, that sort of thing. He didn't walk in there and yell at them and, well, if your statue God's so powerful, then let's see it do something, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do that. And I'm sure I'll get 100 messages from people that'll quote some line and verse where it's maybe something like that, but whatever. Most religions are like that. Most religions are not exclusive like that to everybody else. The results that we have nowadays are because people become so fervent in their belief, I'm right, you're wrong. Because I'm religious, I have no proof of my beliefs, so I hold them in faith, they're mine. I don't care what your faith is. I respect your right to have your faith. Or not. If you're an atheist, that's fine too. Agnostic, sure. That's your right, because when it boils down to if all the soul stuff is correct, then it's your soul, not mine. So anyway, that's a little message out there, especially to that person who will never read this or watch this anyway, but that person out there that was fussing about the big Buddha statue, like, what the hell's the Buddha care? It's just sitting there being jolly, apparently. All right? I don't get it. I just can't get religious and tolerant people that think they know, as though somehow they know. What do they know? What do they have? They have scripts and books and everything, and this ancient script from 5,000 years ago says that this one from 5,000 years ago is also wrong. I mean, which one's right? Who knows? They've all gone through so many iterations and changes. I have a Bible from the year, the year 16-something hundred, an original. I'll show it to you if you ever want to see it. And, I mean, it's old as hell. I mean, oh my God, it's the original King James version with no modifications to it whatsoever. I think I have some older ones than that. My dad probably has much older ones than that. All right? And the difference between them and a modern day Bible is night and day. I mean, night and day. So, if you want to be religious, be religious. More power to you. I even recommend it. I'm religious. But, treat everybody with a little bit of respect if you could. Because that's what I think God would want you to do. And if you don't believe in God, then treat everyone with respect because it seems like the right thing to do. Either way, you don't lose. So this is Tom, who's going to get hit by 1,000 spam and flame emails for this, from antiproton.com, anti-proton.com, and bye-bye.